Hello, my friends. Welcome to another video. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are well. My name is Hazel. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for all the likes and subscribes. Thank you for all the beautiful comments. I really appreciate you guys. Today, we are starting our Moving to Africa series. And if you guys have been watching my channel from since a long time, last year, about this time, was it last year this time? I started this series. I said I was going to come back and talk about moving to Africa because you guys know we're moving to Africa, right? We are moving, yeah. Yes, we're moving to Africa. The place that we're moving will remain a secret. We're not going to say right now, but you guys will know in due time, so don't worry about it. But a lot of you had asked me for information from way back last year, and I've been telling you guys like I'm gonna come back with some videos. I'm gonna come back with some videos when when I know a lot of information and when I'm sure of things, because I do not like to give information unless I know it's real good information that everybody can learn from and it's the truth. I do not like to take information from people, and sometimes, most of the times, when it comes to like dealing with certain things, because it's good to go to the source. And if you're going to go to a country, you need to go to the source. That means you need to find information about visas, you need to go to government agency, you need to go to immigration, all that kind of stuff. Listen to what somebody have to say. Sometimes it's not good because everybody's different. Everybody have different criterias based on your education, based on your, how you say, maybe your citizenship, all that kind of good stuff. Your status in the country, who you know, the amount of money you have, all that stuff give you either a plus or a negative when you move into another country. So everybody's situation cannot be the same. So it's good to hear what other people have to say, but if you're going to take their word only for it, you may have some little issues. So me, I like to go to the source and get my information from the source, right? I'm not saying not listen to people, because people they can give you some good understanding of certain things. Sometimes they can tell you their own experience, and that will kind of keep that in the back of your head, and you can make some kind of simple decision based on what somebody said. But like I said, it's always good to go to the source. So in my year, I think in more than a year and a month, or a year and 3 months videos, I told you all that I was gonna come back and give you lots of information. Some of you has called me on the phone. Hey, you know who you are. Ask me questions. Some of you have texted me, and I didn't forget that. I know it seems like a long time, but I always keep my promise. So, moving to Africa, a lot of us want to move to Africa to retire. We want a better life for ourselves. We want to live in a warmer country. We just don't want the hassle of the West. Some of us, the Most High has told us to go. Like my family and I, the Most High has told us to go. And a lot of us in the diaspora, the Most High had told us to go. So that's one of the reasons, like, a lot of us is out there, because the Most High said to his chosen people, move out of Babylon, go. Not everybody is called, but a lot of us is. So guys, I know a lot of you are being called, but you may not have the financial ability right now, but you just have to do what the Most High tell you. And maybe you don't have the money to fly right now, but you need to trust in the Most High and have faith in Him, because if He tell you to do something, He will provide for you. Don't be some stiff-necked person when the Most High tell you to do something and you're doing something else. You're going to have problems. Not just problems, but problem with a capital P. Major ones. Okay? So that's the intro of the video. So I'm going to give you some basic information, because I'm going to break this thing down into many phases. So you're going to have a lot of information. So the first phase of the information is some general information that I'm going to give you guys. So how did we plan? How did we go about moving to an African country? How did we pick the one? So generally, we looked at a lot of different countries on the African continent. There's 52 countries on the African continent. So Africa is not a country, it's a continent, and on the continent there's 52 countries. I'm just saying moving to Africa because we're going to Africa, but I'm just not saying the country as yet. So don't misinterpret me and put in my comment, Africa is not a country, I'm going to Africa, we're in Africa. Because I know some of you had asked me all the questions, and some people has made some comments before, which we shall not talk about. Anyways, so we had to do a lot of research. And guys, when I tell you you have to do research, you really, really have to do research. Do not pack your bags, jump on a plane, and go to any country. It is not going to work because you don't have the information, and it's going to be a culture shock. Plus, you need money and you need certain statuses if you want to remain in certain places. And you guys have to realize that. I don't care how you are being oppressed in America, in Canada. We know we are all being oppressed. But please use your common sense, because going to another country and you have no clue where you're going or financially on all that stuff, you're just putting yourself into a bigger mess. So what we did was we decided to research a lot of those countries. So most of the country, the first country like Ghana, Gambia, we look at Zimbabwe, Kenya, all those countries where a lot of diasporas are at. And we start looking not about the place first, because some of you are just like, oh, I'm going to go there, I'm going to buy land. Guys, don't do that, okay? Think about what you need. What do you need for your family? We looked at status. How could we stay in a country and be legal in the country? You know, legal, like we're Canadians and we are Canadian citizens of the country. Or if you're living in Canada and you're a permanent residency, that's what it is. That means that you have status. You can go to the doctor, you can get Medicare, you can work and stuff like that. So you need to look into that. How can you get status in that country? That's what we looked at, because we don't want to go nowhere and be illegal immigrants and have problems in the country that we're going to. So that was the first thing. Once we looked at that, we saw how can you get residency in that country? That's the first thing, because we want to go there and we want to be free to live our lives and don't have to be worried about getting the visa, leaving the country and all that kind of stuff. This is a main thing. And a lot of you do not think about it. I have many friends, and I can tell you stories upon stories, who left Canada, go to different countries in Africa, and they have to come back or move to somewhere else. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want to be uprooting yourself. Like people uproot themselves 2, 3, 4 times because they didn't do all the research that they need to do. Okay, so going back to the status, you need to find out the status. How can you get status? What can you do? So when you pick the country, example, if you pick Ghana, if you pick Tanzania, if you pick Gambia, I'm just going to say these 3 countries for now. You need to understand, how are you going to get status in this country? If you go to Gambia, can you stay in Gambia? How long is the length of time can you stay in there before you get some kind of permanent status? Or how long can you stay in there without going out of the country and renewing your visa? And what are the regulations and stuff of that country in Gambia? You need to find that out. Don't be saying that, oh, Tom told you this, Tom told you that, Tom told you the other. Don't do that. Call Gambia Immigration. I'm telling you, call Gambia Immigration, go online, find their number, buy a phone card, or add them onto your WhatsApp, and you call Gambia. You guys, listen to me what I'm telling you, okay? This is important information. Write it down. You call Gambia, and they will give you all the requirements of diasporas and foreigners. They will tell you how long can you stay in the country, how can you buy property there. They will give you all the information. You can go and get the Land Act for all those countries, for Tanzania, for Gambia, um, for Ghana. You can go get the Land Act Inquisition. You can download all that stuff and you can read it yourself. People, a lot of you do not like to read stuff. You like to hear things from your friend and this person and that person, and you don't know the true fact. You don't have things in your hand that you can say, okay, well, according to paragraph number 2, number 111, 19, it says this. You need to have that thing in your hand. Okay? I have these things in my hand. So the country that I'm going to, I can say, well, according to the Land Act of this county, it says blah, 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 blah. I have that in my hand already from where we're going. And that's important for you guys to know. A lot of you get yourself scammed moving to African countries because you do not do your due diligence. Okay? So this is the status thing. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to do is you need to find out about the medical system. You need to find out about that. If you're a person who's gonna need, like you maybe have some, maybe you're diabetic, maybe you have some medical issue, you need to find out about the medical system, what kind of system that they have there, if you're able to afford the medical system. If you have children, you need to also find out all that information, because that's important information that you need to find. You need to find out the cost of those things. Can you afford that? It may seem like a simple thing, but you need to find that out, because based on the cost of these stuff, that means you're gonna have to be saving money towards that based on the requirements of going to that country. So if you know you're going to be there for a year based on your visa or whatever it is, whichever country you choose, then you know you got that based on information that you find out, you're going to have to save X amount of money to go towards that until you get some kind of residency, you get yourself settled, and you can get their medical care for a reasonable price. Guys, pay attention, because a lot of you are not thinking about that. You're just like, oh, I'm packing my bag, I'm going. Don't do that. The third thing you need to find out is, can you work from where you're going? Can you work from there? And that's where I'm talking about. You need to know if you can get a visa for working. You need to know if you're a retired person, for example, and you're going on a retired visa. In some countries, you cannot work. You cannot. That's just the fact. So you need to find out information. If you're not a retired person, you're just going there, you need to find out how you're gonna, if you can work. You need to find out for a working visa. For me, I'm a teacher. I found out in certain countries I can teach because I'm a teacher. So I can apply for a visa for the country and teach, or I can go through the school system where they do the visa and all the processing, and they'll give me room on board and stuff like that. I can do it this way, and I get into the country like that, and after a certain period of time, I can apply for certain things. So guys, you see, that's what I'm telling you. You need to call people in the country, you need to talk to people, you need to go to the immigration, you need to talk to the schools. If you want to teach in a university, you need to talk to the dean of the university, all that kind of stuff, because you're in the West and you have skills, and your skills can take you to Africa. But a lot of people do not know about that. Those skills that you have, you can find a job from Canada or the US and move to Africa, African country this way. And a lot of you are not aware of that. So I'm giving you this information. I'm giving you this gem. The next information that you want to find out is how much money you're going to need to stay in that place. You really need to find that out. How much money you're going to need to stay there. So that means you need to do a search of how much it's going to cost for rent, electricity, internet, and all that kind of stuff. And then you put that together and you decide how much it's going to cost you. These things are very, very important things. Okay? You need to find that out. The fourth thing I'm going to say is, once you have all your information that is pertaining to you and your family, and you get everything right, and you have your money, you get your money and you put everything together and say, okay, I'm going to need this amount of money to live. I'm going to need to pay for this when it comes to immigration. I'm going to need to pay for this when it comes to visa. Once you have all the information, then you can make a solid decision on which country you can go to. You can also find out if you can run a business from that country. Because listen, people say, oh, Africa is at this place or that place. Listen, let me tell you something. Do not listen to people when they say, oh, it's Africa, you can do whatever you want. You cannot do whatever you want in Africa. It doesn't work like that. Don't let anybody fool you and tell you that. Don't. I found out a lot of information from different countries, what you can and cannot do. Don't think, oh, you're going to leave the West, I'm going to go to Africa and put up some kind of business I'm going to do. No, you are better stick with the law in the country that you're going to go in, because they're going to arrest you and put you in jail. I'm telling you, serious. You know? So don't try that trick. Make sure whatever you're doing that it's legal. It has to be legal in the country. You may go there, do stuff for a month or two, but they are going to catch up with you. So don't even try that. Don't listen to anybody and say, Africa is just anything for anybody. This is not going to happen to you. This is not so. It is not true. So don't you dare listen to that. Make sure you get all your legal documents. If you're going to open a business, make sure you get your certification for the business. Make sure you pay money. For what I see for the business and from what I know firsthand, if you're going to need to open a business, you're going to need at least like $1,500. You're going to need at least $1,500 just to be on the safe side, to get the licensing, pay different fees, do the searches and all different things. If you're going to use a building, to set up your business and all the different things, maybe with traveling and all that kind of stuff, have $2,000. It's not $2,000, it's less than $2,000, but just to be sure, because you don't know what expenses you're gonna incur, so just have that. Then the low end is like $1,500, and it depends on the area that you're in. So for those 3 countries that I mentioned, it's very inexpensive. So you're gonna need that amount of money for your business and whatever equipment and other things like that, depending on the business that you are going to open. So that I know for a fact, so I can tell you guys that. On the low end, it's gonna be like $1,300. On the high end, it's gonna be like $1,500 to $1,600, give and take. It depends on different things. When it comes to visas for different country, depend on the visa that you want. The longer the amount of time that you're gonna take for a visa, it's gonna be from $50 to $500. Okay, and I'll get into certain details for you guys to tell you guys about the specific visa requirements and the different things for different for the country that we're gonna go in. When I get to that part of it, I'll tell you. But this is the kind of money that you're looking at when you go there. So if you're a serious person and you want to go to an African continent, make sure you save your money and you know what you're doing, and you don't always listen to people, but you call the source. Guys, don't get scammed. I'm going to tell you right now. Stop getting scammed. For those of you who save up your money like us, who save up our money, we would not get scammed. Why? Because we do our research and our due diligence. If you're going to go buy land in Ghana, do not buy land from people from Canada or US. Don't be staying here and sending money to anybody to buy land. Don't do it. Don't you dare do it. You're going to lose your money. Don't lose your money. I don't care how nice the person is, if they have a YouTube channel, I don't care. Do not do it. There's a lot of stipulations in Ghana that you guys don't know about. And I found that out. Like, there's a lot of laws and requirements and this and land search and this and that and the other you have to go through before you can get land. The people are going to rob you all. You need to be in the country. You need to go to different counties and the different places that deals with land requisition and selling and all kind of stuff. You need to talk to the chief. You need to talk to every family member that ever owned this land, who died, who they passed it on to. Guys, don't get scammed. You don't know the information. That's why you're getting scammed. Don't do that. Any country, whether you go to Tanzania, whether you go to Gambia, whether you go to Zimbabwe, whether you go to Ghana, these are the laws. You need to be in the country. Use your head and don't let that money that you say that all those years you've been saving go down the drain. Don't do it. Doesn't matter how nice the person is. Do not send your money. You need to go there. And that's what we did. My husband is there and he's looking into all of that. He's physically in Africa. Physically right now, he's in Africa, scouting out stuff. He's meeting people. He's talking to people. He's going to meet the chief. He's going to meet the locals. You know, he's going to talk to a barrage of people to find out all the information. He's going to go to the land tax area. He's going to go to different county and find out. He's going to get the paper printed. He's going to read them all up, compare them to what we got online. I mean, it's the same paper, but it's good to get something from people. He's going to talk to lawyers, and he's going to make sure that the information that he got from Canada when he goes, while he's there, it matches. Guys, don't get scammed moving to Africa. Do not do it. I beg you guys. Do your due diligence. Do your research. I know it's hard out here. I know the West is not an easy place. But what is going to cause you problems is when you save up all your money and you give it to somebody because you're too anxious, you're too impatient. We are very patient people. It is taking us many years to move to Africa, but finally we're in the last stretch. We're in the last stretch. We just completed our project, like I mentioned to you guys in the previous video, and this project is amazing. And due to this project, we're able to move to this country that we are moving right now. And like I said, I'm going to go tell you all the processes. I'm going to tell you how to do stuff, guys. It's very important to know how to do stuff. These countries that you are going into, it is not cut and dry as you think. It's not just listening to some YouTuber talk and say, oh, I'm in Tanzania. Oh, I'm in Africa. I'm in Gambia. I'm in Zimbabwe. I'm there. It is not so cut and dry. So this is what I have for you guys today with this general information that I'm giving y'all. So get online, look at the locations that you are interested in, go on the Google map. A lot of you do not do geography searches. Look where things are. If you're going to go to Tanzania, if you're going to go to Arusha in Tanzania, or if you go to Moshi in these places, if you're going to go to Dar es Salaam, look on the map and see the different places. See where there's water. See where there's lakes. See where there's river. Do your geographical research because that's going to be important for you. And a lot of you are not paying attention to that kind of stuff. If you pay attention to those things from here, when you go there, you have an idea already of what you want. So you're going to go find land in those areas. I see some people, they buy land, there is no water on it. Well, you didn't do your research on your land. There's no water because you didn't look at a place that has water. So when you dig a well, there'll be no water on it. So these are the important things that you need to look at. If you're a person you want to do farming, you want to grow your own food, that is essential. Water is very important. So if you're going to, for example, you're going to go in a place that is like an arid location. Yeah, the land may be cheap there, but sadly, there'll be no water for you you won't be able to dig a well. You're gonna have to collect rainwater. You're gonna have to buy a huge tank, maybe 3 or 4 tanks, because you're gonna need water. If you're gonna build a house in there, you're gonna need water for your house. You're gonna need water for your gardens. If you're gonna have animals, you're gonna need water. So think about all that kind of things when you're planning the country that you're going in. Ghana is a nice place. Ghana has a lot of water. You won't have a lot of problems if you move to Ghana and you want to build a house or buy land to build a house and have a well. It's easy. But also, another thing you have to look at is also the cost and the cost of living in those places. And that was something that we looked at also. The cost of living, like Nigeria, Ghana, all those places. How far can your dollar go? And a lot of you are not looking at that. How far can your dollar go? That is something that you should look at. So we're going to continue talking about those topics, and I'm going to come back with a lot of videos talking about moving to Africa, and we're just going to get into the topics, and I'm going to give you guys information. Put all your comments in the bottom of the video. Let's have a good discussion. Let's ask questions, share your knowledge. If you're already in the country, please put information down there so people can go on and check out the websites and stuff like that, so people can get informed, because on this channel, we want to have good legal information, information that is real, that people can go and read and see, and there's a number you can call and stuff like that. We just want to be very transparent on this channel, and we don't want any gimmicks. And our brothers and sisters who are really, really trying hard to move out of Babylon, we want to get them out of Babylon, and we want to get them set up in a really nice place. And this is one of our goals. This is also one of our goals in our project, to get people from the West into Africa with a good smooth transition, without no cheating, without no robbery and all of that kind of stuff, because a lot of robbery and cheating is happening between the diaspora, moving from the West to Africa. So we want to kind of bridge that gap and make sure that doesn't happen. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, comment in the bottom and let's have an amazing discussion down there. So guys, mwah, mwah, thanks for watching. I love you guys. Remember to like, share the video, and let's continue the conversation in the comments. Ciao, ciao, my loves.